It's Tuesday, June 23rd. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobiel. Thank you very much for joining us.
And a reminder right here at the top, the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website, www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
The major events take place in town government this week. A public hearing to be held at the Barnstable High School. It's an opportunity to discuss a multi-million-dollar sewer project designed to improve the town's sewer facilities.
But opponents to the project say it will cost too much for individual homeowners. Town leaders will address those concerns Thursday night at the high school's auditorium.
And if necessary, the hearings will continue on Friday night and possibly even into Monday as well. Now, hundreds of people turned out here last Thursday in this hearing room to discuss the issue, but the hearing room here obviously couldn't handle that, hence the decision for a larger venue.
We will carry the meetings live right here on Channel 18 starting Thursday night.
And they'll also be made available for video on demand viewing as soon as they're complete. So now on to other events. Both the Planning Board and the Licensing Authority held hearings in this very room yesterday. Here are their agendas, as you can see right now, holding them in their hands. They're available online as well if you head on over to the town's website. We thought we'd give you just a quick basic primer on just what a Licensing Authority meeting looks like. According to the agenda, they had requests for a licensed auto dealer to change locations, a restaurant wanted an outdoor entertainment license, and another restaurant was hoping to increase its hours of operation.
Also on the agenda, a one-day wine and entertainment license application for a charitable organization's planned event.
First hearing is a one-day wine-only license and a one-day entertainment license. Application of W. Bruce Wallen on behalf of the Historical Society of Santuit and Cotuit for a one-day wine-only license and a one-day entertainment license for a piano player for July 18, 2009, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Society premises located at 1148 Main Street, Cotuit, all indoors in a tent. Outdoors in a tent, thank you. My bifocals sometimes don't work. Is there someone here from the Society?
Good morning. My name is Bruce Wallen, representing the Historical Society of Santuit and Cotuit.
And you want a one-day license?
Yes.
Who is going to be handling the alcohol?
Andy's Market.
And they understand the tips problems and how to handle the alcohol for surveying and screening the people who get the alcohol?
Yes. They've done this for us before, and they've done this for many a function.
Any questions from the board members?
No questions.
The Historical Society of Santuit and Cotuit will be hosting a Taste of Cotuit on July 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. There will be food tasting, samples from 6+ local providers, the Cotuit Grocery Store, Kettle Ho Restaurant, the Regatta Restaurant, and wine-only tasting all outdoors at the Historical Building. The purpose of this event is to raise funds for the Cotuit Historical Society. This is a 2-hour event only and will be the same program as last year. Is there any comment from the public? If not, I'll be happy to make... She said something, but I couldn't hear her. Okay. Okay, thank you. We have recording going on upstairs, and we got a little bit of comment. I would make the motion to in the application of W. Bruce Wallen on behalf of the Historical Society of Santuit and Cotuit for a one-day wine-only license and a one-day entertainment license for a piano player on July 18th, 2009 from 6 to 8 p.m. I would move it be granted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Your license is granted.
Thank you very much.
A few hours later, the Planning Board also met on a number of different issues.
First, the construction of what will become eventually a 263,000 square foot ambulatory medical complex near Addicks Lane. Speaking here is Growth Management Director Joanne Buntich, who was explaining the applicant's specific request before the board yesterday.
The two matters that the applicant has asked you to consider
is if you would approve the partial construction of Gonzales Way instead of the entire construction, and also if you would agree to modify the covenant. They're not asking you for a vote this evening because the documents are not yet prepared, because they're just simply asking you tonight for a direction. Yes, you're generally going to agree with this, and they should then continue to invest in preparing these documents, or no, you won't consider either prong of their request, and they have to go back to the drawing board.
Mr. Chair, I, as an individual, would say that I have no reservations about allowing Gonzales Road as presented, or the resurfacing with a new surface as recommended by Steve Seymour. And I see this as just step one to get this project started.
Also discussed the proposed development of a blighted area on North Street. Attorney David Lawler described the current property at 46 North Street and his request before the planning board.
The property is really run down. It's kind of a disgrace. We found areas on that first photograph where whether it's homeless or whatever, people have a tendency to congregate at those picnic tables. I found alcohol bottles all over the place. I was talking to the developer. He found syringes all over the place. The parking lot is just this vast sea of parking. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to travel to the property. It really is probably the worst property on North Street, and it really is dilapidated. And on what we seek here tonight is a regulatory agreement for a very simple use. And under the ordinances, and one of the criteria in order to seek a regulatory agreement is economic development, but also revitalization. And clearly this is a property which needs revitalization. I think we've seen through the history of this board with some other projects that similar people involved in this have been in, you see a property like this get developed, and then you'll see adjoining parcels get developed, and it brings up the entire area. Now, everything that we have proposed before you tonight with respect to structures, we can do as a matter of right. We can build, but what we're seeking is a regulatory agreement with respect to use. We have some doctors in mind who are very interested in the site, and actually surgeons who would be purchasing a condo, or roughly 10,000 square feet. And why I mention that is when you have ownership, you have stability, you have people that want to stay in the community. I know that in Massachusetts we're in dire need. If you look at the recent statistics, physicians have been moving out for whatever reasons, and in dire need of physicians. I know that there's a medical service district. However, for whatever reason, particular doctors that we're dealing with want to be in this particular area, not in the medical service district.
The board also heard from abutters to the property who all had various issues with the proposal.
And the planning board voted to continue this public hearing to its July 13th meeting.
On tonight's calendar, the Waterways Committee meets at 8 p.m. in the MEA conference room on Finney's Lane.
Tomorrow, the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs will be meeting in the council hearing room in the Barnstable Town Hall on Wednesday, June 24th. That meeting scheduled for 4 in the afternoon.
Also on Wednesday night, Old Kings Highway Historic Committee meets in the West Barnstable Community Building at 7 p.m.
And then, of course, as mentioned, the Town Council meeting at Barnstable High School on these wastewater meeting hearings. The scheduled meeting begins at 7 o'clock, and it will be available right here on Channel 18.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobiel. Thank you very much for joining us.